Hey, good afternoon, and great to be back with you. I've had some challenges ever since I fell on December the 20th and messed up one side of my body. I think messed up a great part of my body. Then I started to feel out of sorts, quite out of sorts. Monday, I went to the Boundary Trails Health Center, and here's a shout out to the registration staff in the emergency section. The nurses, whoever helped, especially to Dr. Pohl. I waited quite some time, but when I got in, he says, we got to take a look at it. Had a brain scan, and fortunately, and many of you could have told me that, nothing in it. He said, healthy as a horse. And then he took my blood work and he said, healthy as a horse. However, vertigo, I mean, it has a long, fancy name, but creating a bit of lack of balance and some dizziness sometimes. But once you know you're not dying of something much more serious, and you know what, I may be, but the good Lord will look after that. And my time, just as yours, has been once appointed to die and then the judgment. But at the same time, I appreciate so much how Dr. Pohl handled it. He said, we got to take a look at it. And within hours, I was done and out of there. And finally, today, once you know you can how to deal with some of those things, and there's ways of working at it in different ways. Everybody has a suggestion and a solution, maybe for themselves. But today, I'm feeling better than I felt probably in a month and a half, and that's good. Yeah, I still have some pain, but yesterday, if you watched my timeline, I was out on the new walking track in the Meridian Exposition Center. And what a time that was for me as well. I'm going back again today at 4 o'clock. I want to continue to walk and get into better shape because that's the biggest challenge that I've had since I fell on December the 20th, 2020. Yeah, that's over a year. Well, no, it's just last year, not over a year ago. So it's back to working as I see fit and as God continues to lead. And it's just, for me, a great opportunity to once again come back and say, hey, thanks for all your kindness and support, especially your prayers. That's one of the things that we can really do with Facebook. And I know many, many people like to do all kinds of things. In fact, I took a break, I think up to 10 days, maybe, not that much, maybe, and another break, and just basically deactivated my account so I wouldn't be even tempted to go back there and look. And that's why you saw me not on it for some of those days, and I've also pulled back. Because, as I've said earlier, I really don't want to get into all kinds of debates and discussions, but sometimes you make a point, you post a story, and people do react, and that's okay. But I think we need to continue to react in a positive way. You know, uh, God wants us to be shining lights. He wants us to encourage. He wants us to help. And I just came off of a farm show with Jack Dawes and Jordan Patchwell. And on the Rock 98.5, Dennis Dick and the crew. And Dennis owns the radio station in Yorkton, Saskatchewan. I've had the to know that things are moving in the right direction, and attitude is such a huge part. Yep, Chuck Swindoll, the Bible preacher for many, 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 many years, and motorcycle driver, Harley. I saw him drive a Harley in the Bowling's baseball stadium, Bowling, is it Bowling? Colorado, in 1994, I believe, at the Promise Keepers, and he drove in on his Harley. I probably have pictures, but those were print pictures, not digital pictures of him coming in at that time. John Maxwell, uh, Lori, no, forget his name, but We had so many great speakers at that Promise Keepers conference with over 50,000 men, morning, afternoon, and evening, praising God. And Chuck Swindoll said 90% of everything we do has to do with attitude. And you're right. Once I know that something wasn't all that serious, other than my body and inner ears continuing to heal, I can move on and start to do things that I hadn't been doing for some time. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. I do hope things are going well. Guess what? The temperature dropping from minus 30 to minus 20, minus 15, minus 10 is a good thing too. So keep yourself well, keep yourself healthy, stay safe, and may the good Lord continue to bless you as you move along. Somewhere, sometime, somehow, I'll see you again. And that's Siemens Says.